Imagine hanging by a thread 800 feet above a concrete sidewalk. Your only coworkers are a bucket of soapy water and a suicidal pigeon named Gary. If you drop your squeegee, it becomes a lethal kinetic projectile. If you slip, you're not just fired, you're a pancake. Welcome to the life of a high-rise window cleaner. You don't clock in, you strap in. While everyone else rides the elevator up with a latte in hand, you ride the outside of the building like a human hood ornament. The wind doesn't ask permission, it just shows up and starts pushing. And that glass you're about to clean? It hasn't been washed since the last intern quit. Your office has no walls, and that's the problem. First things first, heights. People love to say, "I'm not afraid of heights." That's because they've never leaned back in a harness, with nothing but 80 stories of traffic looking like toy cars beneath them. Your brain whispers, "This is not normal." Your body agrees, palms sweating, knees vibrating. Meanwhile, there's a board meeting happening 3 feet behind the glass, and you're trying to look calm. Across the US and Europe, window cleaning consistently ranks among the more dangerous civilian jobs tied to construction and maintenance. Falls remain one of the leading causes of workplace fatalities in those industries. High-rise work sits squarely in that risk zone. Safety standards are stricter than ever, redundant lines, rated anchors, mandatory training, but gravity doesn't care about compliance paperwork. Every morning starts with ritual: harness, descender, carabiners, backup lines. Anchors rated to hold thousands of pounds. When your existence is suspended by rope, you become very interested in knots. You don't sort of tie one. You tie it like your rent depends on it, because it does. Then there's the weather. You thought rain cancels the job? That's adorable. Light drizzle, working. Cold wind, working. Heat wave turning the glass into a stovetop? Still working. Only lightning reliably shuts things down, and even then you're probably waiting it out in a stairwell. In summer, the glass can burn through gloves. In winter, your fingers go numb halfway down the building. Try ringing a squeegee when your hands feel like frozen fish sticks. And the wind, at ground level, it's a nice breeze. At 70 stories, it's a personality disorder. 1 second, you're steady. The next, you're swinging sideways like a wrecking ball without background music. Just your heartbeat. People romanticize the view. You must have the best skyline perspective. Sure, for the first week. After that, it's just scenery behind a checklist. You're scanning anchors for hairline cracks, feeling rope tension, noticing that your platform tilts slightly left, and you're pretty sure it didn't yesterday. You also get a front row seat to office life, and office life gets one to you. There's nothing like locking eyes with someone mid-presentation while you're suction-cupped to the outside of their 42nd floor conference room. You become part of the slide deck. Someone's discussing quarterly revenue while you scrub pigeon artwork off the glass behind them. Reactions vary. Some wave. Some stare, like you're an aquarium exhibit. Executives pretend you don't exist. Kids press their faces to the window. Occasionally, someone mouths, "You're crazy." Maybe. But you're also trained, licensed, and very aware of your knots. Let's talk pigeons. Urban high-rises are luxury condos for birds, and you're not on the lease. They strut along ledges like landlords. You descend into their territory, and suddenly it's a feathered protest. Flapping, squawking, the occasional aerial deposit with impressive aim. Gary doesn't respect your workspace. Gary fears nothing. And the dirt? It's not just fingerprints. It's months of pollution, dust, construction grit, and whatever chemical cocktail forms when rainwater meets city air. That streak you miss will glow like a neon sign when sunlight hits it at 4 p.m., and someone inside will notice. The squeegee becomes an extension of your arm. Soap, scrub, swipe, top to bottom. Clean lines, no streaks. Because streaks mean callbacks. And callbacks mean dangling again. Lunch break isn't a casual cafe stroll. You're eating on a rooftop, in a mechanical room, or balanced on your platform, trying not to drop your sandwich 600 feet. Gravity loves snacks. Here's what people don't think about. Mental focus. You cannot zone out. Not up there. Every movement is deliberate. Shift your weight wrong and you spin. Forget to manage rope slack and you tangle. Rush, and that's when mistakes happen. And mistakes up here aren't oops, wrong attachment. They're headlines. Even with modern fall protection systems and redundant backups, human error remains the wild card. Equipment is engineered for strength. Protocols are detailed. But you're still a human hanging in open air. And yet, there's a rhythm. Descend a few feet, clean. Descend, clean. The city noise fades into a low hum. No emails, no meetings. Just you, a rope, and a pane of glass, separating two worlds. It almost feels peaceful. Almost. Until your platform jerks and reminds you, peace is temporary. The physical toll is real. Shoulders ache, forearms burn. Your core stays tight just to stabilize yourself. By the time you're back on solid ground, your legs feel confused, like they forgot how stability works. Harness straps leave marks. Gloves wear thin, helmets get scuffed. You measure weeks by how dirty your rope looks. You also become obsessed with anchors, those metal fixtures bolted into rooftop beams. They're rated for massive loads, inspected regularly, and designed to keep you alive. Still, you examine them like a detective. Rust, cracks, anything unusual? Because you're about to trust them with everything. Some crews work on iconic towers tourists photograph daily. Buildings like the Burj Khalifa or the Empire State Building require specialized teams to maintain thousands of glass panels. A full exterior cleaning can take weeks or months. By the time you finish, it's nearly time to start again. Glass doesn't stay clean. That's the cruel joke. You're fighting entropy with a sponge. And sometimes, the architecture fights back. Designers love dramatic angles, decorative ledges, and creative overhangs. They look stunning in renderings. They're nightmares on ropes. You contort like a gymnast to reach one stubborn corner because almost clean isn't clean. Then, there are surprise obstacles. Open windows, HVAC, exhaust blasting hot air in your face, security radios crackling because someone inside forgot you'd be there. Communication becomes hand signals and clipped radio chatter. Lower 2 feet. Hold. Ropes clear. Trust between you and your team isn't optional. It's everything. Someone topside manages lines and anchors. Someone monitors descent. You rely on each other completely. No ego, no shortcuts. People say, at least you're not stuck in an office. True, you're just stuck outside one. But here's the twist. There's a moment, usually near the top, when the sun hits the glass just right. The wind settles. The city stretches endlessly. For a second, you're suspended in silence. Taxis look like ants. The horizon feels close enough to touch. It's terrifying and beautiful at the same time. You develop instincts. You feel wind shifts before they hit. You sense rope twists through subtle tension changes. You move with the building instead of against it. What once made your stomach flip now barely raises your pulse. On your first day, you probably question every life choice that led you there. By year 2, you're mentoring the new guy who looks pale at 30 feet. Trust the rope, shall you tell him? Because that's the job in 3 words. Trust the rope. Not every day is cinematic. Some days are long and repetitive. The sun won't cooperate. Your back aches. You're counting windows, like a prisoner marking days on a wall. But then you rappel past a penthouse proposal or catch a kid giving you a thumbs up like you're a superhero. For them, you kind of are. You're Spider-Man with a bucket. At the end of the day, when your boots hit pavement and you unclip that final carabiner, there's a rush. Solid ground feels luxurious, ordinary, safe. You look up at the building you just descended. It gleams, reflecting the sky like it cleaned itself. No one walking by knows your name. They don't think about ropes or harnesses. They just see glass. And tomorrow it'll be dirty again. So yeah, it sucks to be a high-rise window cleaner. It sucks to wake before dawn. It sucks to trust your life to knots and steel. It sucks to battle wind, heat, cold, birds, and gravity in a single shift. It sucks knowing one lapse in focus could change everything. But it also means you operate where most people only look. You hang where drones hesitate. You work in a space suspended between earth and sky. You dance with gravity and come back down smiling. Every time someone looks up at a sparkling tower slicing into the clouds, they're seeing proof that you were there, dangling, scrubbing, trusting the rope, because somebody has to.